Hello, this is Amin, and this is session 11 of ASP.NET Core tutorial. In this session, we are going to add required middleware and services to our empty project to convert it to MVC project. And if you remember in session 3 of our video series, we showed you how you can create different version of web application with different templates, and also we created an ASP.NET Core MVC application with required middleware and services, and also file structure. But here we try to convert our project, which we have been working throughout this tutorial, to MVC project. For convert and for setup our MVC project, first we need to add required services. And for this purpose, we can add the controller with view service or MVC service to configure services. And also we need to add MVC route to our startup class. Also, we need to add MVC structure to our project. Let's flip to Visual Studio and convert our project to MVC project. This is the project that we have been working so far during this video series. First, let me clean up the code and move the commented code to end of this part to make it clear. And also, I don't need this static folder anymore. As I deleted the custom folder, let me comment these lines as well and move it to end of this method. And this is somehow the project that we had at the time we created this project. And let me add a static file which is one of the required middleware. First, I should add required services to configure service method. I can add services to my project with a service which is part of IServiceCollection, and I can write services that, as I mentioned, I can add MVC service, and also I can add controller with views services. This is the required services for MVC. And also, as I mentioned, we need to use a static file. And after that, before ASP.NET Core version 3, we should add use MVC with default route or use MVC. But after implementing endpoint routing, we don't need to add this middleware. As you can see, when I add it, I received one message that mentioned as endpoint routing is activated in my project. I should do some extra work and the set MVC option enable endpoint routing to false, but I don't want to do it, and I want to implement this project with latest instruction. And also, I don't need this part anymore, and let me comment it and move it to end. Okay, let me add MVC route to use endpoints middleware. For this purpose, I should write endpoint, which is lambda expression, and then map controller route. It has several overloaded version, and I use the first one, which name and pattern is mandatory and the rest is optional. First, I add name and I call it default, and also I add pattern. I add the default pattern for MVC, but if it's not clear at the moment, don't worry, we will discuss routing in MVC in detail in upcoming videos. But this is the default route that we need. First, we need controllers, and its default name should be home, and then after that I add action. Its default name will be index and also ID. Let me run my project with these changes. As expected, we receive 404 message because default route that we added in our project is not exist in my project. And let me first capitalize first character of controller. Let me add the structure. I need www root for a static file, and also I should add one folder for controllers. Also, I need another folder for views and models. Now I have the required structure, folder structure, and if you look at the pattern that I have for a startup, I need one home controller and one index action to my project to be a startup page or a startup controller. Let me add the home controller to my project. I add one class and let me call it home controller. That's CS. And I add one method inside my controller, public, and I want to have one string output. I call it index, and I return hello from MVC. And with these changes, let me run the project. As we expected, I receive hello from MVC, and this is our first MVC application. Let me back to my project and let us check if we don't import the required services to project, what will happen to our project? Let me run my project once more. And as you can see, I receive one error which is related to endpoint routing, and it's mentioned the required service in IServiceCollection is not added to my project, and that's why I should first add the required services to my project. Let's try to have a JSON result as result of my action. Now it is a string, and as you saw, we have this output of action as a string. And let's try to have a JSON result. As you can see, JSON result is not available in the type of action result. Let's implement home controller from controller class, and let's bring in the namespace. It is in Microsoft ASP.NET Core MVC, and now I can add JSON result as result of my action. And also I can have, and let's create one null JSON name equal Amin and ID equal 1. Let's run the project. And as expected, we received the JSON output as a result of our action. If you are wondering why when I implement my controller from controller class, I can have JSON results, let's check the definition of controller class, and you can see I can have void output, JSON result output, partial action, and some other output as a output of my action. That's it in this video. Thank you for watching us. Link of text version and also our social media is available in description of this video.